Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome if you're new, welcome if you are returning back. I'm happy to have you here. I'm excited. We have a special reading for today. It's about the vernal equinox and the energies that the arrival of spring in the northern hemisphere is bringing. So that's exciting. It's going to take place on March 20th at 10:46 a.m. I believe that's Eastern time, but I'm not 100% positive. So it is Eastern time, I remember now. So that's coming through. Just to mention, we're gonna just hop into the reading real quick. All information about me is in the description box. Songs that come through the channel go into the Spotify playlist. Any decks or resources, information that come through on the channel, I put in the description box as well. And also my website, dellegoddess.com or dellegodessintuitive.com is how you can reach me to book a personal or private reading for yourself. So please definitely consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. It helps the channel grow, and it means the world to me to have you grow with the channel as it's getting larger with the community, and it's wonderful, and I so appreciate your support, so thank you. We're going to go into some channel messages first. Oh, I've got like vortex energy, so that's interesting, but it's gentle, and the color associated with it is yellow, so once we get into the channel messages, I will pull some oracle and tarot cards. So, but yeah, I'm getting this kind of a feeling where it's like kind of like things rooting down, so that way they can come back up again. But the color that I'm seeing, it's a spiral energy, and it's like a yellow, a golden yellow color. It's making me think of like sunshine, daffodils, that kind of an energy where it's just like things that have, okay, thank you. I'm like, where are we going with this? So I'm seeing it almost like the sunlight energy is coming into a spiral into the ground, but it's coming so it can send new life upward and outward, just like spring does. So you might have noticed already or been noticing early arrival signs of spring coming in. In my neck of the woods, it's been robins starting to appear as early as February this year, so that was kind of unusual. They are definitely a spring bird, and when we see them, we know that the arrival of spring is coming. So they were a little early this year, but I also noticed too the camellia tree or camellia bush, and we had this big snowstorm, and then so I was out there like knocking all the snow off of it so it wouldn't be stressed under the snow. And like within a couple of days, the weather got warmer, and the camellias the buds were already forming, and it's like, oh my gosh, everyone's like confused. but plants and trees, and I mean, they innately know what to do, and they have an interesting like pause, resume kind of a thing going on, I've noticed. So I feel like for that to come through, maybe you've observed like things that seem to be taking off, but then they were like, all right, hold on. So, but I'm seeing like with the spiral, it's like we can expect steady progress from here on out with forward momentum, forward movement. So that's exciting. I'm going to get an oracle message. So the first oracle deck is the Wild Offering Oracle. I'll put that in the description box. We have creative blocks. So if you are an artist of any kind, you can offer all work to the divine, making it God's alone. I offer this for the highest good to benefit the planet. Release me from any blocks and restrictions. May this serve all who need. Okay. Yeah, so for some, it's like just getting a creative something, you know, moving forward. Calling it, I'm seeing brown water. So it's like in an old house when you turn on the water and it kind of runs brown for a little bit and then it runs clear just because the pipes are old. That's what I'm seeing. It's like the creative block is kind of like you flushing out all the old ideas or something like that, allowing fresh, new, creative, inspired energy to flow in. This could actually be around a creative project. It could be around, seeing a lot of different examples of painting, someone planting a garden, someone being able to build, maybe you're a house builder or you build houses or something like that, where it's kind of like now we can get the framing going and get the project started. But I'll hold this up so that way if you want to take a screenshot, you can read it. There we go. And but yeah, I'm just seeing like to contact like the divine, God, the universe, whatever resides with you or feels right to do so, and just I'm seeing like to ask, or I'm hearing to ask it too, like what wants to be created through you. Somebody who's like writing a song or something. I'm seeing someone hold a guitar trying to find or feel a melody. I'm seeing just like to allow the creative process to truly take over. And you can even call in the muses, like the creative muses. And this is a session I offer, by the way. It's in part of the spirit session, but for creatives. But it's literally like you can call in the muses and be like, you know, I call in the muses, please inspire me to help me flow and get into this creative flow. And just ask yourself what wants to be created through me, and just see what I'm seeing. Like the melody comes when you allow the flow to go through your fingers, because it's something like, it's like a levee, like your mind is the levee. So I'm hearing that When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin. So that's the first message coming in. So right away we have this energy of springing forward, obviously with the vernal equinox coming through, but it's like there's flow is happening again. I'm seeing the rune of Isa, so ice in Norse mythology or Norse. It's just, I'm seeing the rune of Isa where it's ice, and then the falling of that as Solo, the sun is coming out. So, okay, let's get some more cards. Where are we going next? Tarot messages. So Spiritsong Tarot is where we're headed to next. Temperance is on the floor. I feel like something you're working on, you don't realize how much peace and prosperity and harmony it's going to be bringing into your life. But I'm hearing, but it will soon be known it's doing that for you. It might even be because this thing is missing. So let's say you paint for relaxation or something like that. You've run out of paint. You haven't really gotten around to going out to the store to get some more or order it. I see like in the couple of days you're without your supplies, you're like, oh my God, I'm so tense. Why am I so tense? And then you remember, oh my gosh, I haven't painted since I ran out of the supplies. I didn't realize that was so beneficial for me, you know. So let me just grab this card real quick. Yeah, but it's just, and then when you go back out and you're resuming your painting again, it's like, oh wow, this feels good. Or the same like somebody who's building a garden, all the hard work's done, so you don't have to be out there every day. You're finding excuses to kind of go back out there to visit. So maybe putting a bench out there or a swing or something like that. So you can enjoy the gardening, but it's really the time that you spent outside that was creating all this balance and harmony for you. So that's what temperance talks about. Temperance also talks about moderation. So that's really what it means to temperance. It's also one of the 4 virtues of Stoicism. So if that's something that's interesting to you, you could definitely look that up. But it's basically saying, am I doing too much or too little of something to get the balance or the level of balance or stability I want in my life, you know? So what do I need to dial back on? What do I need to pour more into? So something about the zebra stripes, it's giving me like a just perfect balance of the black and white stripes. So it's something like that with you just have a good balance of everything that you need in your life right now. It's and there's harmony in it because of that. So you're not resting too much, you're not doing too much. Then we have the Knight of Feathers or the Knight of Swords. This is action and focus. So usually the Knight of Swords talks about really fast speed, but with this I'm actually getting, it's like when you are focused, you're able to act more quickly because you're sharp, you know exactly what you want, and you have a game plan already set into place. So it could be too that the vernal equinox is just bringing in clarity around the things that you want and around the pathways of achieving the things that you want. So it's like, all right, I know what I want now. I'm getting a clearer picture about how to achieve the things that I want, and then you're able to set a plan in motion, and there's forward momentum with that. Then we have the 6 of Pentacles, synergy and gratitude. These guys are so cute. I like this card. Yeah, there's just an added element of balance to this. So let's say you want to get a business started, or you want to build something, or you have maybe you have some kind of a cleaning business or something like that, cleaning company. It's like you find the people or the investor, something that is able to provide you the funding that you need to gain equity or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not the business person, but it's I just see that you gain whatever it is that you need to get the project moving. So if you're waiting on an investor or something, I do see that you find the support that you need, and it's actually, you find that it's mutually beneficial. So there's something about it that's like you both win out of this in a more pleasing way, where it's not just about, all right, I get the money so I can do the job that I need to do, and they're making interest or something like that. It's actually like, no, the fact that you're doing this cleanup job or this building job, it benefits the whole community, like, or the community as a whole. So that's where the extra benefit on both sides is coming through. So there is something with synergy with that, but also it builds a long-lasting, like, enterprise relationship too as a result of that, where it's like, wow, we are a team now. We're doing really well. But you're still maintaining your individual actions, if that makes sense. Okay. I'll trust that you know if this message is for you. And then these two are together, I'm seeing, where it's the Queen of Feathers and the King of Feathers. Oh, that's interesting. I even noticed that. So King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So something about divine counterparts is coming in, but you both are very, very different. Like, very different in the way that you use and apply your logic. I feel like your logic comes from different sources. So for some, I'm hearing like you might be a pen and paper kind of girl, and he might be a like super highly intuitive kind of guy. So, or vice versa. That's just an example that came through. So it's not stuck on those genders. But I'm just seeing it's like a pair that seems unlikely, but you're both getting your logic from different sources. So again, it could be just like your information is because you're highly intuitive or something like that. So it's just like, no, I know this to be true because of this. But again, this person is like, well, I went to Harvard and these are the facts. So it's just makes for an interesting pair. I feel like there was clashing about this, if this is you and your partner, or you and your spouse. It feels like it's a deeper level of commitment, so it feels like a marriage. You're kind of going like, oh yeah, we had to figure that out. So I'm seeing two scenarios. I'm seeing a younger couple who hasn't quite figured out that that's how they operate yet. And I see an older, wiser couple who they've had to figure that out, that one isn't wrong and the other one isn't right. It's just they get their information from two different sources and then figuring out how to lift each other up as opposed to knocking each other down, saying my way is right, no, my way is better, or whatever. So it could be that if you are the younger couple, you're seeking advice or counseling or guidance, maybe from a set of grandparents or something in one of your families that's kind of giving you guidance about this and how to navigate this. Just because your clarity is different, it doesn't mean that one is right or wrong. I like how these are depicted too, because it's the bat over here is basically saying like they don't have their eyesight, so they do everything by the echolocation, meaning they send out a series of clicks, and the way that the sound bounces back, they're able to actually see how close things are to them, so they don't knock into them, or they know what's food, because the way that the sound bounces off of a mosquito sounds different than it would if it bounced off a tree. So echolocation is what it's called. If you want to look into it further, it's really interesting. And then the lion, though, has this very, very sharp eyesight, so it actually sees, but and keen hearing too. But they might not understand that feeling of vibration, because they haven't had to rely on that sense, like the bat has, and vice versa. So, but between the two of them, like, that's a superpower there. So that's how it's coming through. So how this translates to the vernal equinox, what I'm getting is that you realize like a different, better, more powerful way of working with other people, of working together that highlights your strengths, using that in a team-like sense rather than I'm right and you're wrong, or my way is the only way and I'm right. So it's kind of like with springtime, you might be observing too how everything works together to create the garden. The bees, take the nectar from the flowers and they pollinate the other things, and it's magic. It's really wonderful. So there's something about that, like balance coming in with the newness of growth. And the way that the cards are shaped too, I can't really pick it up to show you, but it's in the shape of a flower. So it's like there's blooming with teamwork, and there's this wonderful transition with, oh, and even with creative blocks too, we have, you know, the bees. We have, yeah, the bees and the flowers. So definitely with the arrival of spring, big time. But let's get one final closing message with the Queen of the Moon Oracle. I got some clearing with that message. So I'm also hearing someone say, like, I always thought I had to do it alone, but now I'm hearing that song, It Takes Two. And I think this came, yeah, it did. It came through on the channel already, so it's already in the Spotify playlist. But it's Marvin Gaye and Kim, I forget her last name, I'm sorry. Good song. Yeah. Just, I'm hearing someone say, like, I don't have to do it alone anymore, and I don't want to. So figuring out how to work better with other people and inspiring other people to do better. So with the Void, that's the first card. I'm seeing to show them together. So we have the Void and the Divine Masculine. So the Divine Masculine is all about how we take action, how we do things. So you don't have to be specifically a man to feel into Divine Masculine energy, because we all have a balance of Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine within ourselves. So, but with the Void, I'm just seeing like this period of incubation that was winter, and then kind of, I'm seeing someone go like, all right, what do I want for myself? What would be best for myself? And then allowing that to come through, and then taking the appropriate balanced, grounded action to do that. So the masculine one, when it's in this divine element, it's like temperance. It's like the action doesn't require too much or too little. It's just right. I know exactly how much energy I need to make this thing come to fruition, and I know what I need to do. Feeling guided to read from the book. I'm also getting divine counterpart energy again. So it could be too that if you have been waiting for somebody to kind of step into their divine masculine, or to take an action towards you, like or to come forward with you if you've been in a separation or something like that. I'm hearing you can expect them to do so around this time. Take that for what it is, because if we're just waiting around for, you know what I mean? So you'll know if that message is for you or if it's not. So something I don't really care to see on readings of YouTube is just this promise of, oh, divine union's right around the corner, or oh, divine union's coming, or it's happening. It's just every message is so it's so personal, and it could be for one person or could be for a bunch of people you don't know, but to try to apply something to you, or just to be stuck in a hopeful energy, it can actually be a little detrimental, because it's hoping keeps us from doing sometimes. So we have to be honest with ourselves about, okay, what do I actually want? And am I taking action steps towards that thing? And sometimes an action looks like being patient. But we can be hopeful while we're being patient. But I feel like I'm conveying the message to whoever needed to hear that. It's just why wait on what somebody else says? Something's coming. And it's just, I feel like you know intuitively best, you know, what to do with your own time. You know what I mean? So while reading, it can be really, really helpful. Sometimes it's important, especially when it's in a general YouTube sense, it's important to really tap in with our own intuitive guidance and see, like, does that resonate for me, or is this keeping me in a hopeful energy where I'm actually kind of stuck because I'm hopeful, so I don't want to take an action because this thing is supposedly coming towards me, so now I'm in a limbo and I'm kind of just waiting, and it's like, but you have your own life to live, you know what I mean? So I'm just seeing it's like you can only react to what's available, what's in the energy that's present in front of you. So I think that's coming through. I feel like I might be dancing around it. So I think the real direct thing that I'm trying to say is that you have to make sure that you're following your own intuition always. Even if you're checking in with a reading on YouTube, it's always so important and paramount to check in with your own intuitive voice, because you yourself know what's best for you, just like a flower knows exactly how to bloom. You know, flowers don't go onto YouTube and then see like how can I bloom better? It's just, it's part of nature and what they're responding to. You know, we can help the flower by giving it better soil and stuff like that, sure. But I'm just seeing this message of like, if you were a flower growing and you're paying attention to yourself as the gardener of your own life, your garden, you know, what do you need more or less of? So again, it comes back to this energy of temperance. So I am still being guided though to read from the book for the masculine card, so I'm going to read that before closing out the reading. Hopefully this has made sense and hopefully this was helpful, but yeah, now more than ever it's so important to tap into your own intuition, your own intuitive abilities. So please definitely do that. I have a video coming on the channel. I'm not sure when. It should be around this time, maybe in a week or so, about just how to develop your own intuitive abilities. So if you want to check that out, keep it on the lookout. Subscribe so that way you get that notice that it's coming through. So, okay. We have the masculine. Try to focus this before I read it. Okay. It's time to step forward and lead. Be the leader in your own life. You have more power than you think. It's time to formally learn more, enroll in a course, or learn a new skill. Offer your protection to someone weaker than yourself. Take steps to improve your health and vitality. And it says, may the positive attributes of the masculine align with me. While lunar gods are rare, usually their realms are the solar. They are conspicuous when they appear. The Australian Aboriginal deity of the Wanarua tribal area, Bayani, I'm not sure if I said that right, I apologize if it's wrong, encourages us to observe the laws of the land and to appreciate the beauty around us. Bayani is depicted with having big eyes and no mouth, teaching us that sometimes beauty does not need to be spoken about, just witnessed with the eyes of our head and our heart. The Norse god Mani, the moon himself, teaches us to be wise and about the passage of time. The Mesopotamian sin shows us how to ask about the future and how important it is to protect the weak. There are so many more. The traditional positive attributes of the masculine, such as strength, physical vitality, power of will, shielding, and protection of the weak, are important for anyone to adopt, no matter their gender or orientation. Should you pull this card, it is asking you to step up into your power, into your uniqueness, and offer your guidance to those who may need it. And it says if you want to work with a stone to help you invoke this energy, black opal is the one. So really, really powerful messages. So there's definitely something there about stepping up, leading, and the protection kept coming through. So there might be something with that as well too. Okay. Just like flowers too, sometimes they need protection, you know what I mean? So that way they're not stomped on or something like that. So that was just the last and final message coming through. So, okay, I'm going to close the reading there. I hope that that helped. I apologize if it was a little scrambled, but I trust it reached who it needed to. So until next time, stay well. Happy spring equinox, vernal equinox, and I will see you next time. Bye.